play right, cause they can't miss. All about the game, that's a cold switch. Serving up the truth, call it ruthless. Tune in and get your fix from Blake and Vish Sports.
First one being from Nathaniel. Thank you for the donation. And Nathaniel says, division teams aren't the same as they were 2 years ago. Do you think the 49ers should take the Rams route and retool their roster?
So just
Vish,
for a little
initial
bit,
thoughts?
yeah, so for a little bit of reference, Blake, this was something I was talking about earlier on Grant's show. So I've been mentioning on a lot of Twitter spaces and stuff like that when I talk about how this isn't 2019, how much better this division is compared to 2019. I think Seattle's more or less in the same level as 2019, but 2019 was the worst iteration of the McVay Rams. This might be the best one since 2018. If you remember, that team lost Roger Saffold. That team lost Todd Gurley wasn't the same that year. They traded Marcus Peters in between the season and all of that. And so I was saying that as how it makes the division more difficult for the Niners, given how much better Arizona and the Rams are compared to 2019. But what I also was talking about, how the Niners are a little bit stuck trying to win with the same core. And we're seeing, even in their defense, even though it's still a very good defense, we're seeing a natural regression where they've gone from elite to very good to now they're just an above average to very good defense. They're not elite anymore. They're no longer elite. And I was talking about how the Rams, if you look at what they did in 2019 or 2020 and 2021, they used 2019 as a year to just retool. They flipped the switch on who their core players were. When they went to that Super Bowl, that team was built around, obviously, Aaron Donald and Whitworth are the two constants from both teams. But outside of them, there was guys like Roger Saffold, there was John Johnson, there was Marcus Peters, Aqib Talib, Todd Gurley, obviously Jared Goff. And then in 2019, they realized, well, we can't just run it back with this group. We got to pull a full switch. And they went and got Jalen Ramsey. They got rid of Marcus Peters. They got rid of Aqib Talib. They inserted, they got a few other guys in their offensive line. I'm blanking. Oh, they traded for Austin Corbett, who's been good, pretty solid for them. They moved around people around Aaron Donald, like guys like Dante Fowler were gone, replaced with Leonard Floyd. And they went to their offense, and obviously Kupp and Woods were also constants from the 2018. But besides that, they got Van Jefferson, they got Deshaun Jackson, then they have Stafford, obviously, Cam Akers, and now it's Sony Michel. And so they kind of totally retooled this entire team. It's totally different from that 2018 team, and they did it on the fly. And that's what I think is the best thing to do, honestly. I mean, we're seeing attrition catch up with the Chiefs, who just lost the Super Bowl. That core, they're going to have to redo their core. It'll be Mahomes, Kelsey, and Hill, and Chris Jones. I think those will be the four guys that are constant. But I think, Tyrann Mathieu could be gone after this year. I think Frank Clark has a good chance of being gone after this year. It's just a natural thing to do. And I think that the Niners are at the point where it's going to be a different core from 2019 than is the one that wins. I think that 2019 core, while it's very good and can still get them to the playoffs, I think there's a ceiling to it. It's not the same as 2019.
Yeah, but I guess like with the Niners, who are you saying? Because I feel like there's going to be guys that are still there. Like, well, I guess.
So I think the Bosa's. Right.
Yeah, like
Trent Williams, Bosa, Warner, those guys will be constant. But I also think,
more role player type guys. Like there won't be Emmanuel Sanders, it'll be Ayuk. Because I feel like right now they have inserted a pretty good amount of younger guys, like the Ayuks. You're gonna have Lance. He's definitely gonna be part of that. You're gonna have Kittle, I guess, carrying over. But I'm interested to see because obviously teams change year over year. Like that's going to happen. There's going to be turnover.
But they haven't had that injection of a star, Like the Rams went and got a Jalen Ramsey. They went and got a Matthew Stafford to kind of turn things in a different direction. The Niners have stayed philosophically, we're going to just build our defensive lineup. We're going to build our offensive lineup. We're not going to really invest in the cornerback position, And we're seeing the misses in the draft really come back to bite them also, like the missing on a Dante Pettis. And having to then trade more picks to get a Brandon Ayuk. Now you're down 5 picks, and because Pettis wasn't good, you have to trade 2 picks to get Emmanuel Sanders. That's 7 picks in a draft where that's 7 other players you could have gotten, but because you missed on Dante Pettis, you're picking other players.
So here's my thing though: is the Rams, for example, they despise first round picks. They just don't use them, and the Niners aren't going to be using their next two, right? So how are they going to get that injection? I guess are they going to trade
I don't think they
seconds? Or are
are.
they going to like
No, I don't
through
think they
free
are.
agency
That's the thing.
potentially?
I don't think
Yeah,
they are. That's the thing. The Rams at the
I
end
mean
of the
it is
day,
hard
it's
to. The Rams are an
right,
anomaly
right,
though. Not
and
many
the
teams
thing
do
is,
that.
exactly. And the thing that I think separates the Rams, and I think you brought it up perfectly, and it's kind of the segue. It's not just that they use their first round picks, they use their first round picks to get the most special of players. And that I think Ramsey would be the best example of that. Ramsey's a one
Yeah.
of one player in the NFL, and they use first round picks to get him, right? Using first round picks to get other players is nice, but Ramsey's the one player that
Good luck
transcends
getting.
the value of two firsts.
Good luck waiting for a cornerback entering his
Yeah, no
prime
chance.
in a
No chance.
disgruntled situation. Like that was very much an anomaly. And you could say Gilmore, but Gilmore is over. I want to say he's
No,
30 or
not in
20.
his prime. Not in his
Yeah, like
prime.
Ramsey was entering his best years. And I mean, to be
Yeah.
fair on the Jags side, like he wanted out and they still got a couple first for him and didn't have to pay him. So you can understand they had their hands tied regardless. So they got what they could for him. And I
I
think it
mean,
makes sense.
yeah, you would like them to refashion this roster at the end of the day, but they can't. I think that's our underlying point. They don't really have the opportunity to. And I think they invested in Trey Lance. So that's kind of a move to do that. So maybe they'll start to play him and let's change something up that way.
Yeah, and to be fair, the Rams also have Aaron Donald, and it's not easy getting a player of that caliber. Now, no matter how good we
It's
think Nick
impossible.
Bosa can be, no matter how good he can be, Aaron Donald will go down as one of the three best interior D linemen in the history of the game. So good luck finding, you could say, two generational talents at some of the most valuable positions.
Exactly. 100% agree.
Good
And then
question, man.
Titus, great question. And Titus asks, when the 49ers hit fourth down near the first half's end, I was resigned to us getting a field goal and then enters Trey Lance. I got goosebumps. Did you? I want Jimmy G to succeed, but I'm excited for the future. Yeah, I'm also really excited for the future. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I think my only thing with when they insert Lance is all the stuff they're using with him now is a gimmick. And so anytime he comes on, I feel like the play usually is successful. And that's leading a lot of people to saying, look, did you see what he did there? We should start him. And I feel like that's kind of just really misleading in the fact that, yes, he's coming on for a few plays and, he threw the touchdown week 1. He ran in for a touchdown week 2 or week 3, sorry. But those are the reason why those are so successful is because you're not seeing him. And I feel like pointing to those plays and saying this is why we need to start him isn't always the best example. Although you can just tell his running makes a difference. You can just tell that. So I know those are two contradicting things, but I feel like pointing to the gimmick plays they run with him isn't a reason to say that he should start. Although he does look obviously incredibly athletic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know at this point. I think given what they gave up, I think that's enough of a reason to start him. I think you have a defined ceiling with Jimmy G. I know people are pointing to the other rookie performances, and we're going to talk about one of them real soon, probably right now, but it's not the same situation, and you got to protect your quarterback better.